Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacy Duncan. I'm President and CEO of the Greater Binghamton Chamber of Commerce and Executive Director of the agency. I'd like to welcome you to our second year of our HYPE Awards. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Tonight, we are recognizing 9 young professionals and a mentor to a young professional who are going above and beyond in giving their personal time and talents. For these finalists, it's not only about their careers, but about the difference they're making in our community. They've achieved an uncommon degree of success so early in their careers and are contributing to our vibrant community every day, despite the challenges we've had this year. It gives the Chamber great pleasure to be able to recognize the abundant talent in our area. An event like this, as always, would not be possible without the enthusiastic support from our sponsors. Thank you to our incredible title sponsor, IBM, and our incredible board member, Mary O'Malley Trumbull. You believe in the success in young professionals, and it truly shows in the commitments that you and IBM make in so many programs in this year especially. We also want to thank our gold sponsor, the agency, our silver sponsor, Delta Engineers and Architects and Surveyors, and Alexa Langland with State Farm Agency. So a little bit about our process. Honorees are nominated by our chamber members, by their supervisors, their coworkers, mentees, and others who are impacted by their leadership every day. They are then vetted and chosen by our selection committee. I'd like to give a huge thanks to our selection committee for reading and reviewing all of the nominations and volunteering their time to make what I would imagine are very tough decisions on our winners and planning this event tonight. So thank you to our committee, Amy Williamson, Anna Warfield, Brian Haas, Jocelyn Bailey, Christina Albrecht, Catherine Murtha, Lisa Young, Chita Matata, Patrick McGinnis, and Gabrielle Wayman. The criteria for our HYPE Awards are this: under the age of 40, a current employee or business owner based in the Greater Binghamton area. And the committee was seeking individuals who brought excellence, creativity, and initiative, both in their profession and in our community, beyond the scope of their day-to-day job. Certainly, all of our amazing finalists deserve this recognition, and tonight we will find out who the selection committee decided to award in each category. But first, I'm going to turn it over to Mary O'Malley Trumbull from IBM, our title sponsor. Mary, again, thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Stacy. It's an honor to be here. We're so glad that you've all joined us to support and recognize our young professionals. So on behalf of IBM, we're excited to again be part of this truly incredible event. It highlights so many young professionals who are giving back every day. This year especially, we've learned how important leadership is, and our young professionals truly embody that. We wish we could be with you all in person, celebrating, having a toast, but our hope is that more friends and family can now watch you be recognized from wherever they are. So you've led the way in your industries. You've provided support to our community when it needs you the most. And again, tonight we are celebrating each of you. And so now I'm going to send it over to Harris Weiss and Jacob Gagnon from IBM. I just want to plug IBM yet again, one of our young professionals very involved in our community, to kick this off. So enjoy the program. And again, Stacy, thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Harris Weiss. I am a Binghamton University graduate who currently works for Congressman Anthony Brindisi in his Binghamton district office. I am also a proud supporter of the Luma Projection Arts Festival, where I serve as the sponsorship coordinator. I'm excited to be here with all of you tonight and to co-host this fantastic event. I look forward to honoring some amazing young professionals. They truly deserve all the hype. Let's get started, and now I'm going to turn it over to Jacob.
All right, thank you very much, Harris. And good evening, everyone. From wherever you're joining us today, welcome. My name is Jacob Gagne. I will be joining Harris as your other host for this evening. So I'll keep my introduction brief since this evening is really all about you, but just as a quick getting to know you, I've been a resident of Broome County for just shy of a decade now, 9.5 years to be exact. And it's been amazing just how fast that time has flown. I started off my time here as a baby-faced undergrad at Binghamton University at the Watson School of Engineering. I had an amazing 4 years there. And then I graduated in 2015. And when I did that, I was one of the lucky ones who got to stay in the area and kick off my career in the same town where I went to school. So for the last 5.5 years, as Mary said, I've been working at IBM as a software developer in Endicott. So that's me in a nutshell. And I hope, even though we're doing this virtually, that kind of makes us a little less of strangers than we were just a few minutes ago. Of course, though, this evening is not about us, it's about all of you. And we are excited to be here and sharing this celebration with you as all of the finalists, the winners, and of course, your family and friends that could join us as well. And for those of you who will be joining in post and watching the replay, of course, we want to extend a warm welcome to you as well. So with that, we have a great evening ahead. So let's get right into it with a presentation of our first award. We're going to start off with our first category, which is the Business and Professional Services category. Now, this award recognizes a young professional who shows outstanding leadership in key functions for a company or for their own business. It's my pleasure to announce the finalists for our Business Services Award this year. And they are Jason Aurelio, Director of Business Development at Century Alarms, Ebony Hatto, owner of Gilead Media and Marketing, and Timothy Cesny, Director at DeMunn Funeral Home. Again, I just want to congratulate all of you for being finalists this evening. And now the winner of this year's Business Service Award is Timothy Cesny. Congratulations, Tim. So hopefully we can get Tim on video here. There he is. All right, now, Tim, normally we'd be in person. I'd be handing you this award physically.
Oh, thank you.
Or at least given the circumstances, maybe I'd be lightly tossing it to you from a safe distance of 6
That's
feet.
fine.
But since we're virtual today, we'll just kind of show it off to you and do a little virtual handoff.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for taking some time with us and taking some time to chat with me here. I know you obviously have the stressful job of being the first finalist and winner to kind of hop on camera with me this evening.
A little nerve-wracking, but hey.
Yeah, well, don't worry. We'll start you off with an easy one. How about you just kind of give us a brief introduction to who you are and what kind of led you to Binghamton and your current position as the funeral director at the DeMunn Funeral Home?
Yeah, so like everyone knows, my name's Tim Cesny. I'm a funeral director here at my parents' own DeMunn Funeral Home. Born and raised in the Binghamton area and the south side of Binghamton. Went to Binghamton High School, went to Binghamton University, went to McAllister Mortuary Institute. Started very early in this career. It's been a very fulfilling job to help families in time of need, especially during the times that we're going through currently and right now. It's been an interesting challenge and a unique one to be able to help people, even though they're still grieving, they have to come through different hurdles. And it's been very rewarding to try to help facilitate those things for people. So that's where it's been. My parents have owned the funeral home for 30 years, and hopefully I'll be staying on and continue on the legacy here.
Well, thank you, Tim, and certainly we thank you for the challenges that you face every day, especially during this time. I can't imagine it's easy, but certainly, as you say, it's necessary and it's certainly helpful to the community.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you've been here a while. So you've got my 9.5 years beat. So one of the questions I guess I have is, I came to this area as an adult and formed my life here, or started out my life here. You've been here for a while. So can you maybe speak to me a little bit about what it is about Broome County that led you to stay in this area and kind of set up your roots? I know you had the family-owned business, but what is it about this community that really is so drawing to you?
It's home. It's just got that home feel to it, especially with the fact that with my fire department up in the town of Binghamton, it really is a family and you care for those people. The great activities that we have in this area, a huge shout out to everyone at the Binghamton Rumble Ponies for sticking around and being here. We've got amazing activities to do in this area. People care for you. I go to Wegmans, it takes me 2 hours to get a gallon of milk because everyone's asking how you are, what's going on with your life, and feeling that makes you feel comfortable and humble and wonderful to be a part of.
Great. Well, Tim, I got one more question for you, if you don't mind, before
Yeah.
we keep things rolling. So obviously, to get into the role that you're in and that you're being recognized for here, you've probably gone through a number of academic courses and certifications, and you've got a lot of technical skills and qualifications that have led you here. What I'm curious to ask about is those other skills, the more personal skills that you can't teach, that you can't get certified. So can you maybe highlight a couple of them that you think have been most critical in kind of getting you to where you are now?
I bring it back into the private school my parents let me to. We did a lot of public speaking there. My job itself also is a lot of public speaking, a lot of times to know when to say the right thing, when to say the wrong thing, not to say that. My parents have been great mentors throughout that. There's also been other people that have helped through there. We used to have a guy who worked for us. His name was Bill Decker. That man could talk to anybody and everybody. And he just knew the exact moments to say everything. And you learn a lot from that. You pick up those subtle things, and how to be a great business leader is to do with speaking and how to make sure that you're getting your point across in a professional manner and to make sure that everything that you're doing, people are following you, especially when you're a funeral director. So it's been a great thing to have great mentors in my life, especially my parents who have helped me through this.
Well, great. Hey, thanks again, Tim, and congratulations again on your award. At this point, I'm going to pass the torch now to Harris, who's going to take us through the next award.
Thank you very much.
Harris?
Congratulations again. So now, yeah, we move on to the next category, which is the creative category. It is a new category this year. It recognizes a young professional who brings their creativity to all aspects, including their workplace and the community. The finalists for our creative award are Erin Kovich, art director at IdeaCraft, Kristen Mann, artist and founder of Grow Bloom Project, and Daniel Mashari, film director and editor of Full Fledged Films. Congratulations to you all on being nominated and being finalists. And now the winner of the creative award goes to Erin Kovich of IdeaCraft. Got the award right here that you will be getting at a later date, but congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself, how you kind of got into this field.
Yeah, so my name's Erin and I work at the local branding design web development company, IdeaCraft, and I've been there for about the last 5 years. Before that, I ran my own freelance design business and I worked with a lot of small businesses and companies in the area. Before that, I grew up in the area. I went to Shenango Valley High School, moved away to school in Oneonta, got my undergrad degree there, and went on to live in New York City for 2 years to get my master's degree. And as much as I loved living there, Binghamton was home and it kept calling back to me. So I moved back here and started my career.
Nice, awesome. That is it's great to hear that you came back to the community. I originally came here for school and decided I fell in love with the community and stuck around. So it's really nice to hear that people that were from here wanted to come back as well. So I've got a couple questions. What made you want to go into this field?
I think it started when I was young. I really liked being involved in creative programs in my education. So starting when I was really young, Odyssey of the Mind is a really great program that's in elementary schools. And it's this really creative problem solving, creative outlet for kids. And that kind of is what triggered me to start thinking this way and being involved with creative projects. And I just really liked the challenge of the being creative when also trying to solve a problem. So that kind of led into high school. I was on the yearbook committee and that challenge of, putting things together for other people. And then it went on from there. It really blossomed into a love of publication design and, being able to be creative, but also benefiting people with helping them with their needs and helping their businesses grow. So that's kind of how it all started.
Awesome. Well, I know this kind of field can be very competitive. So what kind of skills or habits have you kind of that are a part of your life that have helped lead you to the kind of success that you've been able to have so far?
I think it's really important to stay open-minded. And something that I like to do is I keep a notebook with me and if I'm inspired by something, I'll write it down. It might not be anything that's applicable to what I'm working on now, but in the future, I might be like, oh yeah, I remember that. That's something that really inspires me. So just having kind of a place to keep your thoughts collected helps you, especially in a creative field where you're working with other people. There's always timelines involved, so you have to make sure you can be creative quickly. So I think that's a really big challenge that I have to face. So it's always just really good to be aware of your, sorry, my cat's trying to join us. It's really good to be aware of your surroundings and being able to just help people when you can and be inspired by the community around you too. That's something that I really love about this area is there's so many great programs and initiatives that people are always creating things and trying to make the area better. I'm so inspired by all of them that it's really helpful to help keep me creative as well.
That's really great to hear. And I think a lot of the advice you shared really could work in any industry and people could use in their own lives as well. So thank you so much for sharing that. And congrats again on winning this award. I think we are going to move on to the next award now, and I will turn it back over to Jacob.
All right, thank you, Harris, and congrats, Aaron. Now we move on to our next category, which is the education and training category. This award goes to a young professional who either provides instruction directly or who administers programs that prepare students of today to become better leaders tomorrow. The finalists for this category are Gina Chase, Interim Director at SUNY Broome Career and Academic Services, Matt Sheehan, Principal of the Center for Career and Technical Excellence at Broome Tioga BOCES, and Jordan Smith, Career Consulting Assistant at Binghamton University's Fleischman Center. Congratulations to all of you. And now the winner of the Education and Training Award is Gina Chase. Congratulations, Gina. So hopefully we can get Gina here on video.
Hey there.
There, all right, so we got your award. We'll do a little virtual handoff. But congratulations once again, Gina. So for those of you, or for those that don't know you, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what led you to the Binghamton area and to your current position with SUNY Broome?
Sure. So I am a Shenango Forks grad, Aaron. So Forks, go Devils. And I went to SUNY Oneonta for my undergrad and ended up back in Binghamton to attend grad school at Binghamton University. Started my career in higher education at SUNY Oswego, and like those before me, knew I needed to come back home. And so I moved back home with my family that I was starting to begin my career at SUNY Broome. And I never knew that my passion for working in higher education would collide with a newfound passion of working with those in my community until I worked at SUNY Broome. So, all that I do at Broome to lift up SUNY Broome and its positionality in our community, and with all the partners that are on this call, is just very exciting to me.
Well, great. Hey, thank you. And I have to say my wife is a Shenango Forks grad as well, so she'd probably want me to say go Forks as well. So I'm kind of curious in understanding a little bit more about what you do, right? Because it seems that your career is kind of all about helping other people kind of find in some small way there. So can you tell me a little bit more about what drove you to pursue that kind of career path?
Sure. So anyone who works in higher ed would probably tell you they fell into this career. I was the college student who really had no idea. I knew I needed to go to college and earn a degree, but I didn't know in what. And there were numerous people that really helped me in that process and led me to this career. And one of my greatest passions in life is connecting students to opportunity and providing access to anyone, right? And helping them realize that. So I'm here because I was that college student at one point, and someone really helped me along the way. A lot of people did. So that's why I'm here.
Great. So that actually kind of goes into my next question or next phase of this question, right? Which is, the interesting thing about your story is that you were in many ways a product of the education in this community, right? And now you've kind of come back to the area to continue to grow and expand the education opportunities for our community and for our students. So is there anything that you learned as being a part of the community early on in your life that you've been able to apply or leverage, or maybe just something to give you a different perspective that you can take into your current role at SUNY Broome?
Sure. Well, so I'm a grad of SUNY Broome, or I'm a grad of Shenango Forks, but I took classes through SUNY Broome when I was in high school, and then I attended Binghamton University. So I am a firm believer in the educational opportunities in our community. And I think that there's a sense of relatability there, and I hope so, and as well as working with all of our industry partners and community partners. So I think that there's a lot to be said about that.
Great. Well, hey, Gina, congratulations again. It's certainly well-deserved. Thank you for taking some time to chat with us here this evening.
Thank you.
At this point, I'd like to once again pass it off to my partner in crime, Harris, to present our next award. Harris?
Thank you. Keep going back and forth. So our next category is health and wellness. This award goes to a young professional who provides first-class support for mental, physical, spiritual, or emotional well-being to the population they serve. Our finalists are 3 women with unique backgrounds in the health and wellness space. Those 3 women are Jenna Jenks, the general manager at Confluence Running, Jennifer Morbido, the owner of People Grow Together, and Karina Martinez, founder of Binghamton Metro Doulas LLC. And now the winner is Jenna Jenks. Do the virtual pass off to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and yeah.
So I'm the general manager at Confluence Running. We have 3 stores now. We started in Binghamton and have expanded to Corning and also into Orange County. I kind of fell sideways into this. I started running after I had my 3rd kid and fell in love with it, I guess, and then kind of just made it my life.
It's really nice that you were able to kind of turn one of your passions into your career. I think that's what everyone hopes they're able to do, and it's really nice to hear that you were able to do that. So I think my first question has to do with kind of the world we're living in right now with the coronavirus and everything. And I just wanted to see, like, how do you think you guys have adjusted your business practices and just the way you do things to be able to continue to serve our community?
Sure. So of course, there's a lot of changes that we've had to make within the retail environment to accommodate, just
making sure everything's socially distanced and clean and all of that. We also had grand plans of opening our third shop in March, and that got kind of pushed back until June, but then it ended up, it's worked out. It's not quite as we had hoped, but it's a pandemic, so there's only so much you can expect from that. And we think that it's going to be fantastic when everything opens back up. We're very excited about it. In terms of changing like how we've been able to work with the state guidelines for social distancing to continue to do our races and just smaller starts, social distanced masks wearing, that kind of thing. But it's been great in general. Oh, we also have started doing some online, extra online things, like we've started doing shoe fittings in a virtual setting so that we can help people find the right shoe for them through that process.
Awesome. That's great. So I think kind of going along with that, having to adjust and adapt, I think is something that's very important. But I'm sure there are other values or skills or habits that you've kind of had to, you and your coworkers and colleagues have had to adjust to be able to succeed. And I was just wondering if you could kind of talk to what might have also helped you guys improvise and adapt to continue to be successful.
So we've, it's interesting because so much has changed from the pandemic, and so many people are, really lonely and having a hard time. And really the only thing you can do is get outside and get active. And so there's been this change with a rush of new runners or new walkers, new hikers, and being able to kind of help those people find their needs and find what's available for them, find new trails, find what's out there has been an interesting journey. It's just changed kind of how we've had to attack things. We've needed to, kind of offer more online or virtual options. We do still do group runs, and that has been really helpful. We do them mask wearing, social distance, they still fit guidelines. And, people have really found that to be something to hold on to, in this kind of lonely time. We've had to change how we do them, so that we've shifted to, we did a virtual beginner group this year. We've changed how we've done some of those things, but yeah, it's been quite a time.
No, I'm sure, but I know you guys are doing what you can and staying active and keeping people active and getting people healthy, and in our community. And I know you guys both in business and outside of it have been doing a lot to really make this community a lot more interconnected and healthy. So I definitely thank you guys and thank you for doing that. And I think we are now going to move on to our next category. So congratulations again. And I'm going to turn it over to Jacob for our law and government category.
All right. Well, thank you, Harris, once again. As Harris says, this does bring us to our next category, which is law and government. This award goes to a young professional who exemplifies leadership, collaboration, and problem solving in their current role in the government, a law firm or department, law enforcement, or other public sector job. So we have two finalists for this category, and they are Jared Cram, Deputy Mayor at the City of Binghamton, and Michael Keenan, Commodity Manager at the Raymond Corporation. Congratulations to both of you for being finalists tonight. And now the winner of the Law and Government Award is Michael Keenan. Congratulations, Michael.
Oh, thank you very much.
So here it is, Michael, in all its glory. We'll be getting this to you as soon as we can. And thank you for taking some time to chat with me. Now, why don't you just start by kind of giving us your story and how you found yourself in Broome County and as a commodity manager with Raymond?
Sure. Well, like I think a lot of us here, I grew up locally. I went to Binghamton High School. I went off to college in Florida and then law school in Philadelphia. So I went away for a while. But when I graduated law school, my family's still based here, and I had an opportunity to come back and work with a team of 3 lawyers locally that really were exceptional. They really taught me not just how to practice law, but really how to be a professional, and how to tackle problems with grace, or hopefully with grace. And then eventually an opportunity at Raymond came up. Truthfully, I didn't know a whole lot about the company, but as I learned more, who would have thought that in, little green New York, we have a company that creates, world-class products and really plays on the world stage. So moving to Raymond was an opportunity for me to not just use my legal background, but also to engage with engineers on a daily basis and the sales team and so many other business professionals in an effort at the end of the day to produce products, and to do so, really at a company that operates, on this huge global level. So it was a very unique and rewarding experience to, being kind of at home, but also to get to really do very meaningful work at a company that operates like at that level.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that's great. Thank you for giving that background. Now, I have to admit that when I first saw the term commodity management, it was a term that was not familiar to me. I had to actually look it up. So, I'm kind of curious to know, is that something you always knew was on the radar and something you thought you might want to do? Or is that something you just kind of naturally pivoted to, at some point in your early career?
Actually, to be perfectly honest with you, before I heard about the opportunity at Raymond, I had never heard of the term commodity management. So no, it wasn't on my radar. One of the gentlemen I work with says frequently, I don't think anybody grows up hoping to work in the material handling industry. It doesn't quite have the allure of, being an astronaut or an actor. But, once you, I think, get out into the world, or at least in my experience, you have to own your own responsibility for your own work, but such a huge factor is the people that you're working with. So at Raymond, this is not a role I really ever would have saw myself going into, but once I started to get exposed to the people I work with and the engineering team that I would be working with and all of these other professionals, it was really an opportunity to work with people that they care about what they're doing, and they want to always produce the best, end product that they can. So it was kind of a strange pivot for me, but it's been a very, very rewarding one.
Right. Well, obviously, when there's a pivot that happens, it's sometimes nerve-wracking to take that jump, but it sounds like it was very rewarding for you to take that jump. So I guess I'm curious as to what are some of the biggest challenges or difficulties that you faced going from law and then kind of going to an area where, yeah, you're probably doing some law work with Raymond, but you're also interacting with a lot of other things that maybe weren't as familiar to you. So can you maybe explain to some of those challenges and difficulties in making that shift?
Sure. There's definitely a lot of change. To be honest with you, and I know I've kind of said this a couple of times, but the crew I work with at Raymond has been fantastic. So they really made it a soft landing. But in private practice, I was a litigator primarily. And so you think about that, a lot of sort of fighting back and forth. But at the end of the day, even when you're doing that, you're really trying to solve problems. And it's very much the same at Raymond. The problems are different and you're a little more collaborative than you might be. You're not, at the end of the day, marching into court to make your case. You're, trying to, get everybody to reach consensus over a Zoom call, the last 9 months. So it's been an opportunity to really try to find common ground and places where everyone can agree, and to make good partnerships without, always having, and we'll sue you in our back pocket if this doesn't work out. So it's been different, but it's been very, I think, a very positive change, maybe.
Great. Well, hey, thanks again, Michael, and congratulations again for being recognized with this award and for taking some time to help explain a little bit what you do with commodity management and all that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Now at this point, I'm going to give myself and Harris actually a little bit of a breather, and I'm going to pass it off to Brian Hawes to announce our next award. Now, Brian is an engineer at Delta Engineers, and he is no stranger to the HYPE Awards. He was last year's winner of what's now the STEM Award, and he also now serves on the HYPE Awards Committee. So in addition to all that hype, he also stays involved with many community events in our area as well. So Brian, take it away.
Thanks, Jacob. Next category is Mentor to a Young Professional. This is a new award that recognizes someone who isn't necessarily a young professional, but has invested in young professionals by sharing expertise and insight needed to grow successfully in their personal and professional lives. As a result of this person, there are more economic, social, and civic leaders in Greater Binghamton this year. Our finalists are Salomina Burns, founder of Support Black Business 607, John Myers of John L. Myers and Associates, Ameriprise Financial, and Laura Pascucci, Vice President, Physician Network at Our Lady of Lourdes Memorial Hospital. Congratulations to you all, and the winner of the Mentor to a Young Professional Award goes to Salomina Burns. We'll bring Salomina on camera here.
Am I on camera?
Here, here.
Hi.
Congratulations. Now, Salomina, she's the founder of Support Black Business 607 and teaches valuable marketing and sales strategies to help Black-owned business owners succeed in their community.
Absolutely.
So everyone has a mentor. Every young professional has a mentor that they look up to, especially every one of the HYPE Award winners tonight. I'm sure they all have a mentor that's taught them the way of business and how to succeed. And obviously, to many community members around here, you are that mentor that have specifically credited your advocacy and support to their success. So with that being said, Salomina, what is the most rewarding part of your job?
Oh, it's very rewarding. It's rewarding to see so many of the businesses growing and expanding. It's rewarding to see a lot of the members in the group, the Support Black Business 607 group, that were unaware of some of the businesses in the community, finding and discovering all of these different businesses that they had no idea about. The amount of networking that takes place is also very rewarding for me. Some of the most fulfilling things for me are the fact that many people have been inspired to start their business, where before they thought, there'd be no way, it's a pandemic. And, after seeing the success of some of the people that are already in the group, it inspired them to start doing, start showcasing whatever talent or skill that they had. And they're actually, making money and starting businesses. So that was huge for me. That's what the purpose of the group was.
That's awesome. Because I'm sure a lot of people have plans and dreams of something that they want to do. It just takes somebody like you to push them in the right direction. Tell them, go ahead, do it. So obviously, to get to this point and have the knowledge to share with these people, you had to go through some steps of your own. So how did you get into this field of work?
I'm gonna tell you honestly, I just always had a knack for business. I had a cleaning business in New York City. I have a good head for numbers. I've studied business, but I've went as far as like an associate's degree. Most of my expertise is self-taught. I just kind of see what people need and what they want, and that's pretty much what you supply to them. So I knew in this community, especially during this pandemic, one of my first thoughts was, wow, there's a lot of businesses are going to take a hit, and especially Black-owned businesses, because that's just how it goes. I've said this before, whatever affects the community affects the Black community even more, just because of how things are structured. So my feeling was that there has to be a way that we can help not only businesses in general, but especially Black businesses, to still maintain successful during this pandemic. And one of the things that I noticed was, and it's been a long time actually that I had this idea. I just wasn't exactly sure how to implement it, but I knew that a part of activism, there's an economic component to activism. So during, especially after George Floyd, there were so many people that were coming out to support Black Lives Matter, and they were allies. And I thought to myself, there's other ways that you all can support these movements, right? Not just through protest, which is wonderful. But I thought, like when I look at places downtown and I see like Dos Cantina and the Colonial, they're packed full with patrons, which is wonderful. And I thought, if we had Black restaurants that had a similar crowd that was coming in consistently spending money, a lot of these businesses would be doing a lot better. I want the same things for them. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
the premise of the group was to invite allies in the fight for racial justice. It was to invite them into this group and say, hey, I would like y'all to support this also, as far as economically. And basically, people that joined, they got it. I mean, they've been on it. It's like it took on a life of its own, which I think is wonderful. People are growing and expanding, and they're able to hire people. On top of that, they're hiring more staff because the demand has become so high. So it was a way to say, like, hey, we're here. And you may not have thought of it or made a conscious effort before to say, hey, you know what? Every now and again, let me spend my money here. And now that people are being introduced to that concept, they love it. They're like, you know what? I never thought of this. I never thought to myself, hey, maybe once a week, let me order out from a Black-owned restaurant. Or maybe let me buy my Christmas gifts from a Black-owned proprietor. And that's not to say you don't support anyone else. You support everyone. But now you make a conscious effort to say, listen, let me do my part if I can,
Right.
So that's pretty much it.
Awesome, Salamina. Well, everybody who's benefiting from your mentorship, I'm sure appreciates it. So you should be proud for what you do.
No, they
And,
do. They tell me all the time, and I love it. They tell me all the time.
That's great, Salamina. Well, hey, congratulations again. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Alexa Langland, owner of Alexa Langland State Farm Agency, to introduce our next award. She grew up in Broome County, started her business here, and is now involved with many local organizations, including the United Way Emerging Leaders Society as marketing chair. Welcome, Alexa.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you all. I will be announcing the nonprofit award. This goes to a young professional who is dedicated and passionate in further particular social cause, advocating a shared point of view. This individual in running for the award all must work at a nonprofit organization in either a staff or board capacity. Our finalists represent a diverse set of nonprofits in Greater Binghamton. We have the final finalists of Abby Cleveland, Assistant Effective Director at the Binghamton Philharmonic, Autumn Loke, Lead Counselor at Liberty Partnerships Program, and Aaron Summerly, Program Director for the Food and Health Network at Rural Health Network of South Central New York. Congrats to all the finalists. And now the winner of the nonprofit award goes to Autumn Loke. I'll get Autumn on. Might have to turn the video on.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So you do such great things for the Binghamton School District. And I just wanted to hear a little bit about yourself and what kind of got you into that field.
So myself, I am a mom of 2 kids that went through the Binghamton School District. I was a teen mom, so I kind of, grew up, with a little bit of adversity there. So I had started my education journey at Broome Community College. And one of my professors there really inspired me, Professor Francis Battisti. And so that was like way back when, early 2006. And so I knew I wanted to work with youth who had like similar upbringings and faced adversity and challenges that I did. So after, I then transferred into Binghamton University, where I met Diane Cruz, who helped me get in a position with the Liberty Partnership Program for a field placement as part of my school program. So that's when I had really started to work with the Liberty program, and I fell in love with it. And then after graduating, I was offered the position. And then I worked with the position for quite some time until our current director, Amy Humphrey, who actually nominated me for this award. She really pushed and advocated and supported me going back to school for my social work degree, which I did. And then we are here today.
Awesome. Well, you were saying that one of your professors really influenced you. What was one of the things that they've done that really you have brought into your position right now?
Professor Battisti, it was during, I was working on my associate, so it was really SUNY Broome Human Services. But he really talked about social work and how broad the social work profession is, and how it can be from advocacy, brokering different services for families, marginalized, underserved, children, elderly. It was as broad as, doing individual counseling, meeting mental health needs of people that you're working with. It was so broad that it opened up my eyes that it's almost like everybody needs somebody. And not everybody has somebody. And so if I could be what he described through his years of experience and working in the community at that time, he had his own private practice. He was giving back by teaching in the college classroom, all of us young and upcoming professionals then. I was really inspired to really want to be able to work with the community, individuals, families like he did. And like he said, the opportunities existed.
Absolutely. Well, I heard that you designed an elite program for your for what you do. Tell me a little bit about that elite program that you've generated.
Well, the Liberty program at Binghamton High School, I love it. It's a program that offers an intense case management service model of supports for students and their families. It's like a passion. It's my baby. I get to work with students and their families individually to assess what their needs are. And their needs can range from anywhere between academic needs to mental health to community needs, whether it be some basic Maslow needs of housing, food, whatever those needs are. We work together, we figure out the best way to serve them, provide them supports, referrals, whatever they need so that they can be successful. And that's one less thing that they have to focus on, where they can then shift all of their focus on their schooling, academics, and really be able to finish high school, graduate high school, and be prepared to go on to post-secondary, college, or career, whatever they feel is fit.
That's fantastic. And thank you so much for what you do for the young in our area and everything that you really do. Congrats again to you. And now it's my turn to pass it back off to Harris.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey everybody, I am back after a small break. And now we are moving on to our Service Industry Award. This goes to a young professional who delivers an outstanding experience because of their hospitality and customer service. We're highlighting two outstanding young professionals who have successful careers at downtown Binghamton restaurants. They are Erica Dickinson, the general manager at Dos Rios Cantina, and Aaron Laughlin, the executive chef at Dos Rios and Stone Fox. And the winner of this year's Service Industry Award goes to Aaron Laughlin of Dos Rios and Stone Fox. Now, Aaron, if you are here, can you either raise your hand or comment in the chat? We're having trouble finding you to pull you up. Are you here? All right. Well, if he is not here, then I think we are just going to move on to the next award. Sorry that we don't get to hear from him. But I will bring Jacob back for our skilled trades category.
Aaron is here.
Oh, he is? Oh,
yes.
Perfect. Glad to have you. Sorry about that.
We're here together. So
Oh, awesome. Well, congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Binghamton, attended Seton Catholic Central High School, went to SUNY Broome for hospitality management, and currently I'm the executive chef and owner at Dos Rios Cantina and Stone Fox.
Awesome. That is really cool. So I think the first question that I had is more also focused on Stone Fox. Is opening a restaurant during the pandemic probably wasn't the most easy thing to do. But what sort of, how did you guys do that? And what kind of skills or values do you think were able to lead you guys to being able to be successful in opening a restaurant at this time?
Yeah, certainly wasn't something that we were planning on, but in retrospect, it gave us a great opportunity to change the dining setting to the changing world. So we were able to see what the needs were for social distancing and cleanliness and sanitizing, and we were able to make our model around that. So we were very fortunate for that. Through the state guidelines that we get, we put together a program for what we do on a daily basis, how we do tracing of customers or contact info that will be led to the Department of Health if needed. So it really gave us a good opportunity to adjust to the changing times. Definitely, it was a challenge, and it's a daily challenge. Things are changing every day around here. There's new policies and procedures from the state, but we do our best to give the guests the best experience and be as accommodating as we can, but still be responsible business owners and make a safe environment for everybody.
Awesome. Well, I know being in the restaurant business can be very competitive. And like, what made you want to go into this industry, and what do you think has also helped you succeed?
Well, I think I started working in a restaurant when I was 16 as a dishwasher. I can't say it was anything that I really dreamed of when I was young. It was really just a part-time job. And then one day, one of the line cooks doesn't show up, and I end up on the line cooking with the guys. So it was a slow progression from that point. I attended classes for it thinking that I could further my career, and it seemed to work off pretty well. But to be honest, I fell into a good group of guys working together in the downtown community. Was fortunate to have a couple mentors work with me. And that's really where the drive and passion came from. It grew over time. It was a slow growing thing, but it turns into a passion. It's really quite a thrill to be running and operating these businesses, seeing it busy, a little different these days, but seeing it, all it can be, and giving guests experiences, something that they take home and, tell their friends about. We share memories with people. People come in for anniversaries, weddings. We've had wedding proposals. It's just being a destination that people remember is really what it's all about.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Well, congratulations again. And to anyone that hasn't tried Stone Fox yet, their margarita pizza, phenomenal.
Thank you.
So congratulations on that. It was really good. So thank you so much. And now I will send it back to Jacob for our skilled trades category.
Do I leave? Oh, okay.
I think they leave.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Harris, and congratulations again, Aaron. My wife will tell you I'm getting better at the dishwasher phase, so maybe she'll let me be an executive chef in our house soon, but we'll see. I'm still on microwave meals at the time being. Anyway, we're going to move on to another new category here, our Skilled Trades Award. This award goes to a young professional excelling in an occupation that requires a special skill, knowledge, or ability. This is usually obtained at a college, a technical school, or through specialized training. Our finalist is Leland Moxley, fabrication supervisor at the Raymond Corporation. Unfortunately, our other finalists in the skilled trade category could not be part of the program today, but the winner of the Skilled Trades Award does indeed go to Leland Moxley. Congratulations. So let's see, we got, oh, there you are. And here you are. We're going to get this to you as soon as we can. These things are heavy. I tell you what, my arms are tired already from lifting these up, but luckily that was my last one of the evening. Congratulations again, and thank you for joining us today. You probably know the shtick here at this point. Can you just kind of walk us through a little bit about yourself and your journey that's kind of led you to your current role as a fabrication supervisor?
Absolutely. First, I would like to say I love your beard.
Thank you.
Keep it going, please. I was born and raised in Green, New York. I went to SUNY Oneonta, is where I got my bachelor's degree. Did I think I'd come back to Green, New York and go to Raymond's? Absolutely not. But when the opportunity arose, I took a job as a grinder, which is pretty much the lowest of the low on the factory floor. Was there for probably a year, left the company for a little bit, learned a lot about machining at another company, came back to Raymond's, started building transmissions, went from building transmissions up to total process reliability, which really allowed me to branch out and learn more about our machines, learn more about our people, learn more about our process. And then 2017, I took over as a supervisor on second shift. And I just recently moved about a year and a half ago to first shift as the fabrication supervisor. That's pretty much it. That's how I got here. It's been a good journey. It's been a long journey. I've learned a lot. I love coming from the floor up because you actually get to know your product and understand your product. And I think it's pretty cool.
Well, that's quite the story, and certainly it's true. Going from the bottom to where you are now, it's a great achievement, and definitely congratulations on that and your journey thus far. Now, I also understand that you are big into giving back, right? And you actually work with the BOCES program. Do I have that right?
Yes, I am the representative for Raymond for Broome Tioga BOCES. They're just starting a manufacturing class. I am the person that is working with them, trying to make sure that we start to create like a pipeline. A lot of kids feel like they have to go directly to college. That's not always true. You can go to a trade school. You can go to BOCES, learn something, move from BOCES, and then go to BCC, go to Broome and learn in their manufacturing element, and then go from there to a place where you can have a job. It can be at Lockheed, it can be at Raymond's, it could be at IBM. But it's just giving that opportunity to tell kids, hey, don't feel like you have to go to college. If you don't want to, you can go to a trade school. It's still a college, it's still furthering your education. It's just allowing you to, some people are hands-on. I'm hands-on. I like that type of stuff. It comes easier to some people. This is giving them that outlet. I mean, looking at a book all day is really hard. I have trouble looking at a book all day and reading information. But if you can get hands-on, and that's what we're trying to do right now, is give that hands-on material and that information to those high school students saying, hey, let's go. You guys can do whatever you want to do. You can find something that you like. You could be a welder. You could be a painter. Like it doesn't matter. And you also get that instant gratification of seeing a piece of steel that when it comes in, you don't think it's going to be a fork truck in 3 days, but in 3 days it becomes a fork truck out the door, and now you're providing service to Amazon, to Lowe's, Home Depot, all the people that we're ordering online for. That's the trucks that we're building. So like you're intricate in this pandemic for sure. So it's pretty cool.
Well, that's amazing work, and it's true that the BOCES program and everything they provide and the skilled trades is so important for our community, and everything that you do and helping out with that program is so commendable and really doing such a great thing for our community. I do want to kind of trigger off that just a little bit, and because I understand you're also kind of in a mentorship role at Raymond as well, right? So what is it about mentorship for you and giving back to others, be it with the BOCES program, be it with your colleagues in Raymond? What is it about that mentorship role? And have you had any mentors in your career that have been instrumental in your success so far?
Absolutely. First and foremost, I want to thank two huge mentors and friends. One was Amber Pratt, who nominated me for this actually, and then John Webb, who was a mentor to get me to come to Raymond's and kept pushing me to go forward and moving me and wanting me to say, like, just telling me, you can do this, you can do whatever you want, but you got to do it. I'll give you the opportunity. You got to do it. This is on you. Mentoring for me, I've wrestled my whole life. I started coaching. So when I took a supervisor position, one of the things they asked me was, have you ever coached or supervised anybody? And I was like, well, I've coached a ton of people. And to me, coaching and being a supervisor are pretty much the same thing. At the end of the day, what you want to do is you want to take somebody and utilize their strengths while being able to work on their weaknesses and get the most out of your employee. Industrial organizational psychology is what my background kind of is for my college degree. So that kind of plays in the same thing. Currently, I've mentored probably 4 people that are now from shop floor up to management positions. At the end of the day, you want to see them succeed, because when they succeed, you succeed. You can win championships, you can win a bunch of stuff, but if you build good people, and that's really what I like to do, is build good people, you'll see those things come out. So that's kind of what I feel about mentoring, and I enjoy mentoring. I enjoy watching the progress and hopefully helping people.
Well, great, Lee, that's fantastic. Thank you for sharing and sharing your time with me, and keep doing the good work. It's amazing work you're doing, and very much a deserved award. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And congratulations again.
Thank you.
So now we're nearing the end of the evening's program, but we're not quite there yet. As my parents would often reply when I chimed in from the backseat of their car, we're just not there yet. So let me once again pass it off to Harris to present this evening's final award. Harris.
Thank you very much. So yeah, this is our last award of the evening, but last but not least, we have the STEM Award. These finalists lead impactful work in science, tech, engineering, or mathematics fields, and also volunteer their skills outside of their workplace. The STEM category finalist Corporation, Rucha Kulkarni, the supplier quality engineer at Universal Instruments Corp., and Sarah Reeves, commodity lead at BAE Systems. Congrats to all of you on being honored as a finalist. And now for our last winner of the evening. And that winner is Rucha Kulkarni from Supplier Quality Engineering. Congratulations. Here is your award that we will be giving to you later, but I'll virtually give it to you here.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what brought you to Binghamton.
So I came to Binghamton in 2016. So I came for my master's program for industrial and systems engineering in BU. And then I started working in Universal Instruments from 2017. So Binghamton has been my home for 5 years now.
Awesome. That is fantastic. Mm-hmm. What kind of got you interested in this field of work?
So when I joined Universal, my first interaction with Universal was when I did a refurbishing project with them as a volunteer. And then I had a couple of visits at Universal, which which kind of built my interest in them. And also, as everyone knows, Universal just completed 100 years last year. So it also has a history behind being such a big organization. So it was a wonderful opportunity to work there. And it kind of brought a lot of confidence in me. It gave a good exposure, and it gave me strength to deal with day-to-day problems. Also, I didn't had any experience prior to this, so this was my whole experience, and it kind of hyped my growth a lot.
Awesome. That is fantastic. So obviously, to be an engineer, it's very difficult and a lot of studying and a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
What do you think, skill-wise, habits, routines, values, that you have that have really kind of helped you get to this point to and be this successful right out of school?
So I think, of course, engineering needs a lot of hard work, and you have to juggle a lot of things to achieve success. But at the same time, it's important that you have some hobby or something else that you cannot keep studying for 24 hours. You have to have something to relax your mind, which is going to increase your efficiency and productivity, and it's going to give you big rewards later on. So when I started my bachelor's back in India, I was always involved in sport. So I knew that I had to have another hobby, but I cannot compromise my studies. So I have to balance both of them. And with that, it gives you, unknowingly, it gives you an insight that when you're working, you have to balance things out. Even in engineering, you have to balance different subjects, and you have to concentrate on everything. So kind of that led to where I am today.
Awesome. That is awesome. And I know everyone can use that kind of advice no matter what industry they're in. Well, congratulations again
Thank you.
on being honored here. And that pretty much wraps up our program and all of our awards for tonight. We've enjoyed hearing from everyone that has been nominated and that has won. And we hope everyone that joined us either over Zoom or over Facebook enjoyed themselves at home. Remarks. Have a great night, and thanks again.
Thank you, everyone. Congratulations to all of our finalists and our winners, truly deserving of the recognition this year. And thanks for all you're doing to make our community better. I want to thank Jacob, Harris, Brian, and Alexa for your excellent job co-hosting and emceeing our award ceremony tonight. You did an incredible job in our virtual setting, but I think it worked out really well. We also want to give a shout out to White Knight Productions for helping the night run smoothly. And thanks again to our sponsors, especially to Mary and to IBM, our title sponsor. Don't forget, you can view this recording. It will be available, so you can share it with friends and colleagues if they couldn't join us this evening. We want to continue to recognize the amazing honorees and talent we have now and every year here in Greater Binghamton. So congratulations to everyone again, and thanks, and have a great night.